Thank you. My name is Megan Phelps. When I was a little girl, I lived in my own little world. I would sing songs whenever I felt like it. I would go to bed excited to wake up the next day and watch the sun peek its rays over the horizon. I wore overalls and no shoes and a bandana that said, "The future is organic." I remember planting the first seeds on a local farm in San Diego. I loved the expanse of land that was soon to be filled with organic crops. I loved the pizza that was served fresh from the stone pizza oven. I loved the feeling of community and togetherness. I had a spark. My grandmother is an activist. She gave me a book on activism when I was 10 or so, and I was intrigued by the prospect of making a difference. It asked me to choose a thing: human rights, the environment, world peace. For me, it wasn't a question of choosing a thing. It was a question of choosing one over another. Though I was disappointed by the prospect of not being able to address human rights and world peace, at the age of 10, I decided to commit to my interest for the environment, and it developed into a passion. Then, 3 weeks before 9th grade, my freshman year of high school, I had a bike accident. Despite wearing a helmet, I ended up suffering a traumatic brain injury. I slept for the majority of the days after the accident. And for this reason, I transferred to an independent study school, so I wouldn't have to face the constant stimulus of traditional school. The independent study system worked well for me. I got my work done, so I could take frequent breaks to recover. I had a flexible schedule. As I recovered, I grew less tired. My head stopped aching as often. I had free time to do what I wanted, but I was lonely. I didn't have as many friends at my new school since it was small. I didn't go outside very often, and I'd lost touch with any passions that could fill up my free time. I remembered in the back of my mind my passion for the environment. I militantly tried to dwindle our trash to zero. I developed a hatred for plastic. I struggled to get my family and friends to understand my commitment to the environment, but I isolated myself from them in the process. I thought I had lost my spark, until I began the Project Green Challenge on October 1st. The first day, I started singing again. I wrote an environmental parody to Hey Jude. And anytime you see GMOs, hey there, refrain from purchasing those pesticide-laden frankenfoods. For well, you know that it's a fool who supports global corporations who make this world a little warmer. That's global climate change, baby. The second day, I donned my bandana that says, "The future is organic." I learned about hemp and biodiversity. I discovered that there are more organisms in 1 tablespoon of healthy soil than there are people on the planet. I would go to sleep excited to wake up the next day to discover the door to a new passion through the challenges. Throughout the Project Green Challenge, I learned that I didn't have to choose between fighting for human rights and protecting the environment. I discovered that the root of both of these passions is the same, because the same system that is destroying the environment is also causing human suffering all over the world. I no longer felt the same hatred for plastic and isolation from the rest of the world. Instead, I felt emotionally connected to the people who suffer from the effects of climate change and environmental degradation. I felt a strong sense of compassion for all human beings worldwide. I found my spark again. Where I had once seen a boring garden plot in my backyard, I now saw an important resource. I've started to kick my shoes off again to connect with the life inside the soil. I reached out to make an impact. I'm still learning how to use this. Okay. I reached out to make an impact, and in doing so, I connected with my community. The Project Green Challenge participants made up another community, full of like-minded people who inspired me to persevere. I stopped feeling alone. I want to bring this feeling of community and passion to the students in my area. I'm working on a new program that will bring environmental education to students in San Diego. First, I'm hoping to create an environmental club coalition for high schoolers in the area. Then, with help from environmental science teachers, elementary school teachers, and human development and psychology professors at local universities, I'll create an age-appropriate environmental education program for students of different ages, starting with 4th and 5th graders. It will address different topics that relate to sustainability. The high school students will at that point go through a training that will prepare them to become environmental education mentors. Then they will be assigned to an elementary school to implement the curriculum. In researching my project, I discovered that there's currently no California state standard for environmental education. My ultimate goal is to challenge the current science standards and to take the environmental education curriculum to the state level. I'm excited about this program because I'm not only going to help bring environmental education and awareness to elementary school students, but also to the students and teachers who will put my project into action. I want to bring the sense of unity I felt the day I planted the seeds. I aspire to not only teach the students about the earth they live on, but also to engage their compassion. I hope to encourage and help them to take an action to create a bigger change than any one of us can accomplish alone. Projects like school gardens, zero waste initiatives, fresh, local, organic, seasonal, non-GMO school lunches, recycling programs, projects that will inspire them, like Project Green Challenge did for me. Projects that will show them their power. Projects that will make a difference. I want to change the world, and I want to start by changing their worlds. Thank you.